it's been an emotional journey for me in this arts community as an advocate of the arts, and as a Black artist. It's been difficult, and it started actually with COVID, not the murder of George Floyd. It started when they put out that poster, one story, one theater, one story.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't one Black theater represented at all.
Mhm.
Not one. And nobody took responsibility for that, and they haven't until this day. Everybody has passed the buck and said things like, you know what they said, well, we didn't know there are any. Common Ground Theater is actually the oldest theater, continuous theater in San Diego, and that's a Black theater. So just for me personally, that really hurt because I support a lot of those organizations,
Mhm.
and that just never should have happened. So yesterday, something was said that I think that we could apply to this, and I'm going to paraphrase that, you have to remember in order to move forward, right? In order to do better. And so I'm really hesitant about the sincerity of doing better when you don't acknowledge that you did something like that, that hurt. Well, not only that hurt not only the Black community, Black artist community, but the community of color of artists.
Mhm.
And so then they just scrapped that and reorganized and came up with something new. And they said, yeah, that happened, but we're over it. Let's just move forward. Um, so when you don't acknowledge that you've hurt a whole community, I don't know how you expect the community to move forward. But I haven't moved forward. I'll just be honest about that. I was just really hurt by that.
I think about the organizations I have been involved with over the years. I mean, I'd say a couple of decades, and, I think I recall listening to you, Jacole, and maybe Michael Taylor talking about being the only ones, and that was the way it was decades ago, so nothing has really changed. I mean, I think people would like to think so. And as Dia was saying, it hasn't happened yet. So we're treading water. We're saying, okay, I have a daytime job, I have a career, I have, that, but I also have an interest, a passion in the arts, if you will. And as I look at actors, and directors, casting directors, et cetera, I mean, your jobs are performing, basically. The other part of that should be getting on a board someplace so that you can affect changes for someone else. I mean, it's not enough to say, well, I need to be on a stage, or I need to be, whatever. If you are not in the room, and I'm talking about the people who listen to this show, I mean, I can think of a couple good names, if you aren't on those boards, if you aren't in the room, don't expect change. Don't expect change.
I feel as Black people, we need to invest in our own, okay? Because when we were invited to go on the cruise, that one we couldn't refuse, that brought us here, okay? The only thing that we really were able to bring with us was the ability to produce art, to tell a story, to sing a song. And we have not been good stewards of our own productions of art. And so it is important that we invest in our own people. So if you can do it, you should do it.
What gets measured gets improved upon.
Mm.
And by that, I mean, you know, if we could have this conversation a year from now and we could count some successes, I think the four of us would feel good about that. So I would say that's my parting thought. What gets measured gets improved upon. I think you guys have a good idea of who is where, who's doing what, you know, who's on boards, et cetera. You know, I would say if we could take an inventory at the beginning of this year and compare notes at the end of the year, you know, because again, too, what's, you know, if you don't have something on paper, it's just an idea, you know, and we can talk about that, you know, every month. But I think if we could document, or at least, like I said, really do an assessment of where we are, then we know we need to improve on.